Humble beginnings are often the soil for a life of fruitfulness later on. Kathy Wise, a resident of our Meeting House Village campus, is a living example.
My dad was a sharecropper. I remember living in several houses. They were on stilts because it was southeast Missouri and there's a river through there, and so it would flood. I moved to Cary, Indiana when I was 6 years old because it was during the war and my father wanted a better job. Yeah, he went to work in a factory that made car springs, and it had all been changed over to military vehicles. And I grew up in the streets of Gary, Indiana.
Marrying her high school sweetheart, she and her Air Force husband moved to different military bases every 3 years for 20 years, including a stint in Libya in the early 1960s. During those years, she faithfully raised 4 children in the highly mobile life of a military family.
Because my husband was in the Air Force, we moved every 3 years. And I think the most exciting thing, besides seeing other parts of the country, was church, because church life was always very, very dear to my heart. One of our assignments was to go to Libya, North Africa. That was a very interesting assignment. Leaving Libya, we had a couple of other assignments. We went to California and we went to Florida, and we wound up in New Hampshire, here.
Kathy's horizons broadened in her middle years. At age 35, she began work on a college degree at the University of New Hampshire, while also taking a first job as a library aide, as well as launching a local drama club for children.
When I became a library aide, I thought, wow, I could have a drama club. And so immediately I started gathering children, and we had more fun. I had no experience in drama, and neither did the children. And so we learned together.
As a talented seamstress, she handmade the costumes for the children's school and church performances she produced over the next 30 years.
The knowledge I took away from doing drama is how wonderful children are, and how they're so naturally inclined to be somebody else, or to become an animal, or to pretend. They're just wonderful at that, and they're so much fun to be with and to watch.
Her busy schedule slowed her college studies, but at age 50, she graduated. But that proved to be only the start. She went on to earn master's degrees in elementary education from UNH and information studies from the University of Rhode Island. After retiring from her librarian and teaching positions, Kathy began and continues to volunteer regularly. She devotes the majority of her time as a caregiver to her special needs granddaughter.
I do have a real affinity for children, and I think probably that was played out when my daughter, who also lived in Hampton, adopted a little girl named Amanda. I couldn't love her more if she'd been born to me, and I became her grandmother. And so for the last 12 years, Amanda and I have been very close. She's just a delight. And I volunteer at her school. Every Monday I go and operate a library there for the handicapped children. So it makes me feel useful, and it gives me a place in life to be with children again.
Kathy is testimony to the fact that the lives of those we serve at Advent Christian Retirement Communities are often hidden gems, undiscovered and uncelebrated until we get to know them. We're grateful to share one more of them with you.
I think if I were to give words of wisdom to someone else as they're like beginning their career or starting out in life, it would be to care about people. To look them in the eye when you talk to them and actually see them. Also, I think that you put feet to your faith in God when you interact with children. Because not only do you say you're a Christian, but people can see it in your life. I think that is so important to show it. I think that our churches could really grow if we cared about people, looked them in the eye, no matter their age, and just told them they were important people. and that God loves them. I've been through a lot of difficulties in the last 3 years. And I started reciting that, the 23rd Psalm. I could never get past the first line. The Lord is my shepherd. And I would say, what does that mean? Okay. And so then I read a book about the 23rd Psalm, and a shepherd takes care of his sheep. And so I thought, God is my shepherd. He takes care of me.